Visual: two mannequins side by side. One in a slightly oversized cream sweater, worn loafers, no logos. One in a tight logo hoodie, box fresh sneakers, gold chain. Freeze frame on both. You could put both of these people in the same room, at the same restaurant, in the same car, and within 4 seconds, most of you would already know which one grew up with money and which one is trying to look like they did. Not because of price nor because of brands. Both outfits could cost the exact same amount, so it's something else entirely. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Today we're not talking about what old money wears. Everyone's made that video. We're talking about why it reads as old money the second your eyes land on it, the actual mechanics behind the tell. This is a sociological breakdown, not a shopping list. By the end, you'll be able to spot the difference between strangers across a parking lot, and more importantly, you'll know exactly which of these signals you can start adjusting in your own closet by tonight. Let's get into it. Here's the first tell, and it's the one your eye catches before your brain even processes it. Fit tension. New money dresses are to announce the purchase. The shirt is fitted to the body like it's trying to prove something was bought recently and bought expensively. Tight sleeves, cinched waist, everything is hugging. Old money dresses with ease, slightly roomy through the shoulder, a little drape in the trousers. Clothes that move when the body moves instead of clothes the body has to fight. Why? Because old money clothing was never meant to be looked at up close by strangers trying to guess the price tag. Was tailored for comfort across a long day, meetings, walks, and dinners, not for a photograph. Tightness signals: I want you to notice this fits. Ease signals: I've never had to think about it. That's the whole psychology in one sentence. Tension performs. Ease inherits. Second tell, and almost nobody talks about this one. How the fabric moves, not how it looks standing still. Natural fibers, wool, linen, cotton, and cashmere soften and drape. They wrinkle a little. They fall with gravity. On camera or in person, they look alive. Synthetic heavy blends hold a stiffer, shinier shape. They don't crease the same way. They photograph well under bright light but look almost plastic in natural daylight. Old money wardrobes lean heavily on natural fibers, not because of some rule book, but because those fabrics were bought to last decades, get repaired, and be passed down. New money wardrobes lean toward whatever looks sharpest in a phone photo today. And synthetic blends are built for exactly that, instant sharpness and short lifespan. Rub 2 shirts between your fingers and you'll know which family they came from before you even check the tag. Here's the tell most people get backwards. You'd think wealth means newer. It's actually the opposite. Old money wardrobes are full of items that look gently used: a slightly creased leather belt, a watch with a scratched crystal, shoes with a soft matte patina instead of a showroom shine. That wear isn't neglect. It's proof of ownership over time. It says this item has survived years in my life, which is a much quieter, much harder to fake status symbol than anything brand new. New money wardrobes trend box fresh, stiff denim with the crease still ironed in, soles with zero scuffing, and a watch that still has the plastic film shine. Everything looks like it left the store an hour ago, because it usually did. Sociologists have a name for this. It's called conspicuous consumption, a term coined over a century ago to describe spending built specifically to be seen as spending. Old money wardrobes do the opposite. They practice something closer to conspicuous restraint, deliberately hiding the newness, because newness is what gives the purchase away. Quick pause here, because this next part matters more than the shirt you're wearing. Everything we've covered so far is what a stranger can clock in 4 seconds. But the deeper skill, actually building a wardrobe like this instead of just spotting one, comes down to 2 things: what you keep and what you're finally willing to let go of. I laid out that exact editing process, a tailor-first mindset, and a simple 3-color method for making everything you own work together inside the Old Money Playbook. Link in the description. Worth grabbing before your next closet clear-out. Third visible tell: color saturation. Old money palettes stay narrow and muted: navy, cream, camel, forest green, and charcoal. Colors pulled straight from nature, low contrast, easy to mix with almost anything already in the closet. New money palettes trend brighter and louder, bold logos, high contrast prints, and saturated colors designed to be spotted from across a room. The reasoning traces back to the same idea we just covered. A muted palette doesn't need to be noticed to feel expensive. The quality does the talking up close. A saturated, logo-forward palette is doing the opposite job, broadcasting the brand from a distance because the fabric quality alone won't carry the message. Fourth tell, and this one's almost a rule of thumb you can use immediately. Count the accessories. Old money tends to wear one or two meaningful pieces, a signet ring, a simple watch, maybe a wedding band, often inherited, rarely flashy. The value sits in the story of the object, not its size or shine. New money tends to layer accessories, multiple chains, oversized watches, visible logo hardware, because when an item is new, the only way to prove its value is to make sure it's seen. Quantity substitutes for history. So here's your quick field test. The fewer, quieter, and older the accessories look, the more likely you're looking at inherited wealth. The more numerous and louder they are, the more likely you're looking at recently earned wealth trying to be recognized. Last visible tell, and it's the hardest to fake, construction detail. Look at the shoulder seam of a jacket. Does it sit exactly at the edge of the shoulder bone, or does it droop past it? Look at the buttonholes on the cuff. Do they actually function, or are they sewn shut for show? Look at the break of the trouser at the shoe. Is there a clean, single fold, or extra bunched fabric? These are the fingerprints of actual tailoring versus mass production. Old money wardrobes are disproportionately altered, tailored, or custom-fitted. Even basics get taken to a tailor. New money wardrobes are disproportionately bought straight off the rack, sized to close enough. You don't need to be a tailor to catch this. You just need to know where to look: shoulder, cuff, and break. Those 3 points alone will tell you more than any logo ever will. So here's what you actually do with all of this: 5 checks in order next time you're getting dressed or sizing up a room. 1. Fit. Is there ease, or is it announcing itself? 2. Fabric. Does it move naturally or hold a stiff shine? 3. Condition. Does it look gently lived in or box fresh? 4. Color. Is the palette muted or loud? 5. Construction. Shoulder, cuff, break. Do they actually fit the body? You don't need a bigger budget to shift these 5 things. You need fewer, better pieces, worn longer, altered properly, and left alone to develop a little history. That's the entire code, not secret, just unpracticed. If this changed the way you look at a closet, yours or anyone else's, subscribe. Because next week we're breaking down the 6-second test old money families use to judge a house before they even walk through the front door. You'll want to see how many boxes your own home checks. See you in the next one.